Yes, good morning. We have exciting news. Pope Francis has appointed Bishop Nelson Perez, Auxiliary Bishop of Rockville, New York, to now Bishop of the Diocese of Cleveland, Ohio. He is Hispanic. Bishop Perez is Cubano of Cuban descent. I had the blessing to meet him and interview him at the St. John Cathedral downtown, and I'm already a fan. Bishop Perez exudes goodness, confidence, and has a spirit of fearlessness. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So I know you just got here, so it's kind of whirlwind. So based on your personality, what kind of changes do you think you'll bring to the diocese?
It's hard for me to speak about changes because I'm the one who has to change in a sense, right? I'm the one who has to adapt and adjust, and I don't bring changes with me. I come to become part of what is already here. Right. So I'm not. I'm not looking to bring any changes, but to continue to and become a part of the great life of this local church.
What kind of social issues are close to your heart?
Well, the poor have always been very close to my heart. The immigrants right now and the refugees, not only from Latin America, from all over the world. You know, we have to, as Pope Francis says, you know, be a country, a church that embraces for humanity's sake, right? For humanity's sake, and to me, that's really important, and to help them feel hope. You know, there's a lot of fear out there right now, a lot of fear. So we need to, as church, as people of faith, help them to feel the comfort of hope and our support.
Absolutely.
And our support.
There's I was telling you in Painesville, Ohio, it's called Little Mexico, and 25% of the population is Mexican. 50% of the babies born are Mexican. So there's a St. Mary's over there, Catholic Church, and there is a lot of anxiety. What message do you have for them?
That the church walks with them, that the church is right there, and doing all we can and support them and pray for them, but also be there by their side. That the church and its bishops and its priests and its pope are certainly not deaf to the cry of their heart.
Especially as they're in the midst of this political discussion.
All that stuff is bringing a lot of concern, and that the church is there, doing everything, and the power of the church lies on it when we get down on our knees. That's where the real power of the church is. When we offer our prayers to Almighty God.
Absolutely. And tell me a little bit about your background. It's so interesting.
Well, I was born in Miami 6 months after my parents got here from Cuba as refugees. Right? They were picked up by Catholic Charities and put in refugee camps in Miami, and eventually they got a place. But I grew up in a little town called West New York, across the river from Manhattan. And there I grew up in a place where a lot of Cubans and Italians lived together. So I've been very used to being in communities that were diverse and ethnically diverse and economically diverse. That was my world, and it's been my world as a priest. It's also been my world as a priest. And at one point, you know, ever since I was a little kid, I wanted to be a priest. You know, I remember my earliest memories. I was just captivated by everything that happened around the altar, just captivated by it, and then eventually that's what happened, and I was ordained a priest 28 years ago. And served in the Archdiocese of Philadelphia, a lot of experience with Hispanic ministry, diocesan work, teaching. The last 11 and a half years of my time before I became a bishop was as pastor of 2 parishes, one in the city of Philadelphia and one outside. And that was a great gift. That really was at the end where my heart was. There's something so special about being a parish priest. And and walking with people at all sorts of moments in their lives. You know, great happy moments like a birth of a child and the marriage of a young couple, and their difficult moments too, and then everything in between. My greatest friends right now are couples that I met in those worlds, and to them I'm not bishop or monsignor or father, I'm just Nelson to them.
What do you think the greatest challenge is for people out there, for families?
I think right now there is a world around us, I think, that in some ways is a little absent of God. You know, and that's a big challenge. I think the world around us is very quick. Social media is a blessing in the communications world, right? It's made the world a lot smaller, right? But it's also very quick and very fleeting, and all these social phenomena have yet to be studied and see what impact it will have on the human heart. I think that's a big challenge.
Absolutely. And then tell me a little bit about your Cubano.
Right.
So tell us a bit, that's interesting.
Well, I'm Cuban American, born here, made in Cuba, born here. I said that to the Pope last September. I actually stayed where the Pope lives with a delegation of bishops and leaders in the country. And that was really, and he asked me, he said, so where did you learn how to speak Spanish? He said, oh, my parents are Cuban. I said, so you were born in Cuba? And I said, well, sort of. I was made in Cuba, but I'm packaged in Miami. I said, you love that. He repeated it to me 2 days later in an elevator. And so, you know, that brings about a real sensitivity, you know, of all ethnic groups that have come here over the last, you know, couple of centuries and a half that make this country great, right? That people come from all over the world and contribute and bring their gifts and their spirit and their culture. And that's the beauty of the United States, right? That's the beauty of the United States, and I've been so blessed to experience that. And at the same time, I feel totally comfortable in the Cuban world, and as I do in the American world. To me, they're kind of seamless. I could go in and out of Spanish and in and out of English. And someone said, do you think in Spanish or think in English? I said, I got to think about that. I think in both, actually. You know, you would know that yourself. You kind of think in both. I think in English. You think in English?
Yes.
I think in both. Okay. You know, pray in both.
Yeah, I pray in both.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Anything else?
Tell me what your view is with the political football right now. Even yesterday, Trump mentioned Mexico building a wall for the border, and the challenges that Mexicans face here in the United States, having their leader talk about that, and then, you know, having to deal with that on a daily basis. How does the church relate to the president on his message with building walls? Mm-hmm.
The church has been very clear. You know, the church teaches that a country has a right to defend its borders and secure its borders. There's no doubt in that. But the church also teaches the dignity of the human person, the sacredness of the family. And so the bishops in the United States have consistently called for comprehensive immigration reform. It is a broken system. And it has to be fixed in a way that respects the dignity, the profound dignity, and the human rights of people, and the sacredness of the family. Those rights and that dignity is not given to us by the state. It is inherent in us, in being human beings and created by God. The church actually, the state actually has to protect those rights. It doesn't create them. So we have to pray for this country as we go through this whole dialogue, and pray for the community that sometimes feels targeted. You know, and the Hispanics are one group, but there's lots of other immigrants in this country that it's not just Hispanics. They get the airtime, but there's lots of other people.
Last 2 minutes in Spanish. Go ahead.
Okay, all right. So I have a show too that it's for the Hispanic community.
Sí,
So if I could
cómo
ask
no.
you dos preguntas en español.
Sí, absolutamente.
So, ¿qué mensaje tiene para a nuestros hispanos? ¿Verdad?
Bueno, que es una alegría estar aquí en esta diócesis como latino también, ¿no? Soy el primer obispo latino de Cleveland, ¿no? Y para mí eso es una gran alegría que quiero ser quiero ser voz para el pueblo latino, ¿no? Quiero ser su voz en la sociedad y en la iglesia a la misma vez. Y que tengo muchos deseos de conocerlos aquí y de encontrarme con ellos y saber de su historia y sus alegrías y sus desafíos y ser lo que yo pueda hacer para ellos.
Y dime un poquito de dónde eres, de dónde viniste.
Soy de padres cubanos que llegaron aquí en los 60, escapando el régimen comunista en Cuba. Llegaron a Miami en los 60. Meses después nací yo, por eso siempre digo que fui hecho en Cuba, pero desempaquetado en Miami. Me crié en el norte de New Jersey, donde hay muchos latinos. Ahora, cuando aquello había muchos cubanos, ahora hay muchos centroamericanos en esa parte de New Jersey. Y todo mi sacerdocio, toda mi vida, mi carrera eclesiástica, siempre ha sido sirviendo a la presencia hispana en la iglesia, ¿no? En particular, sirviendo a todos, ¿no? Porque soy obispo católico, no soy obispo hispano, eso no existe en realidad. Soy obispo para todos,
Seguro.
para todos. Pero sí traigo conmigo el poder hablar español, el comprender la cultura y esa experiencia, ¿no? Que puede ayudar al pueblo hispano en particular, en una forma muy particular.
¿Y qué mensaje le tienes, se puede detener a nuestros hermanos mexicanos que están en esta cosa, esto político que le está pasando y qué esperanza le podemos dar?
Les diría a ellos las palabras de Juan Pablo II desde el momento que sale a hablar a la iglesia y al mundo cuando fue elegido papa. Este es un hombre que se crió en el comunismo, ¿verdad? De Polonia, durante la Segunda Guerra Mundial. Y a pesar de todas esas experiencias, sale él a la Plaza de San Pedro y lo primero que dice es: no tengan miedo. No tengan miedo. Que es la frase más repetida en la Escritura, ¿no? En la Biblia. No tengan miedo. Confíen en Dios. Confíen en Dios, que Dios se ocupa.
¿Cuál es la comida favorita tuya?
Depende de qué país es. Obviamente, de los cubanos, pues una buena ropa vieja con arroz blanco y maduritos. Ajá. Me encanta. Pero el pernil de los puertorriqueños y el arroz con gandules también me encanta también. Depende del país,
sí,
¿verdad? Y las comidas mexicanas.
Bishop Nelson Perez of the Diocese of Cleveland will start his duties as a bishop here in Cleveland starting in September. Elizabeth Image Unisex Salon, where looking good is understood. Cleveland's first Hispanic female barber entrepreneur, and she does my hair every week. Her team does hair, updos, eyebrows, pedicures, and will do your makeup for that special occasion. Elizabeth Image Unisex Salon, located at 4355 Ridge Road in Brooklyn, Ohio. You can contact her and her staff at 216-961-4441. ElizabethImage.com. Elizabeth Image Unisex Salon is giving away free eyebrow arching to the first 3 people that call her and say they watched the Anna show. You can call this number, Elizabeth Image, at 216-961-4441 and leave a message at the salon. Good luck. Okay, so I just love going to churches. It's on my bucket list to visit as many churches as I can in my lifetime. In our praise report this morning, we went to a Hispanic church that has a leaky roof, but that's not stopping them from raising the roof with strong praise and worship. They say the joy of the Lord is their strength. Pastor Eliu Rodriguez is a missionary in his own backyard. 90% of his congregation are not working because they are sick or they are older than age 65 and only receive a Social Security check. So they are all volunteering to raise money for the roof by selling Spanish food on Saturday mornings at the church. He talks about frituras. These are the fried foods they are selling.
As a matter of fact, we ran out of the frituras.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you ran out of food yesterday? That's wonderful. It was very good.
Yeah, yeah.
And so the money raised goes toward?
Construction we're doing over there.
Okay. So the
Like
roof and
construction,
everything?
the roof, yeah.
Okay.
Because about a month ago, a little bit over a month ago, remember we had a real strong wind here.
Yeah.
It blew most of the carton from the roof.
Sí, hemos tenido la necesidad.
There is a necessity to have our roof repaired. We can't praise in our sanctuary because there is water coming through the roof and leaking on us. We have organized activities to raise money, but there is still a lot of work to be done. No matter what, they stand together and praise Him, thankful for their blessings.
I love this church because it's very big purpose in my life. So before coming to church, I was having a lot of problems in my life and I didn't have a purpose. And as soon as Jesus came into my life, I felt like I had a big purpose in my life.
There's a lot of love, a lot of unity. And God has put, I'm a secretary of the church for about 4 years. I'm also a teacher, I'm also a missionary. And I love to work for God, and I love to be around people, and I love to talk to others about God.
It seems like a lot of people here volunteer for the church.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Okay, on Saturdays, every Saturday we're doing a activity for the roof that we're fixing, and we're doing the service here because of the other side, the sanctuary is messed up, so we're doing the sanctuary, we're doing it here. But we do every Saturday, we do food, we do yard sale, we do a lot of activities, and we also, I don't know if the pastor had let you know, but we also do food bank for the community also. So we like to help out because this church, since I've been here, is a church of love. And everybody in here, they all love each other, and we work like that. And the priority here is because we do it for God.
In their Bible study lesson, the message is that they have to work together to get things done. And if they can't give money, then they can give of their time. And embedded in the good book is the message of hope. Every Saturday morning at 10 a.m., they are selling Spanish food right inside the church to help raise funds for the roof. They are on the corner of Mayor and Scranton in Cleveland. To help the church get a new roof, contact Pastor Eliu Rodriguez at 216-916-6970. Accessories and jewelry for the Anna Show provided by Charming Charlie at Legacy Village, 24503 Cedar Road, Lyndhurst, Ohio.
Hello, Visionary Remodeling. How can I help you? This is Jose Rodriguez speaking. Monday morning, would 9 o'clock be okay? Okay, sir. Well, thank you so much for calling. You have a nice day. Jose Rodriguez, Visionary Remodeling, here, ready to install the sink, the faucet, and all the hardware that needs to go to this. I told you I'd be here Monday morning. Here I am, always on time. Today I'm going to be starting by showing you how to install this faucet. A lot of people ask me, how do you install a faucet and not be afraid of water leaks? Well, this is very simple and very common. Now today what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it with a silicone, a clear silicone that I use, which is to me more waterproof and adheres better to the sink. And what I do is I just put a small little amount here inside that groove, just like this, with clear. You want to use clear. Just fill it up and then you can wipe off the excess later. The faucet always better to be installed before you put the counter and the vanity in. And if you install the faucet onto this counter, this bathroom top here, is easier than you having to do it later when it's all glued down. So I put it all together, including the drain and the pop-up, everything. Put this in from the back. Make sure that you have this rubber gasket. This is what keeps it from leaking. And behind there, there's a spacer. Bring it up like this. Just make sure it's threaded in right. And make sure that this is where your pop-up is gonna go. Make sure this ends up in the back. Once that's tight, then you're gonna take this and tighten it by hand first. And then I take my channel locks and I give it a few turns, couple turns, till you feel like it's snug. Don't over tighten it, because you can always tighten it later once you give it a test. So installing the clog-free pop-up drain, this is a magnetic stopper. This is very cool, this is different. Usually the stoppers is where this actually goes right through a hole. As you can see, that has a magnet. So when you installing this, what you want to do is make sure you don't want to install it that way. You want to install it this way from the front. And then here, you have a washer that goes in here. And then this goes here. Don't over tighten this. This is all plastic, so you have to be very careful. But if you take a look at this now, this is magnetic. This automatically comes out, which is cool. So you never have to worry about it getting clogged up. What I usually do is I take this and I push in the pop-up, push it all the way down, and I find I take this one here and leave it all the way up, and I slide this down. And then I check to see if it works. It's working on number 2. Now, the proper way of installing the clip, this clip is, most people install this clip the wrong way. They go like this, and they install it like this on the outside. This is not the way you install it. The proper way of installing this clip is to always go in first here, bring this in like this. I'm gonna give it number 3, see what number 3 does. Then bring it and wrap it up around so that the clip does not pop out. Faucet installation completed. So I came here and I did a dry run. This is not installed yet, the cabinet is not installed yet, but I did a dry run. And I placed the cabinet in, and when I went to go put in my sink, it won't go all the way back. Why? Most people don't understand why the sink doesn't go back, and the reason is because this is one of the common problems. This stem here, the pop-up stem, is too long and it's hitting the back of this here. So it's causing the top to go all the way back. So I'm going to show you a tip today of what you could do. You take it and you just cut off about 2 inches. Be very careful with this. Done. So once that is cut, you should be able to go back up here, put it on, and it won't. See? Okay, so here, before you put the cabinet in, what you want to do is make sure that you're level front to back. That's pretty good there. As you can see, the level's perfect. If you go here, you see that this needs to go up more. Then what you do is just buy a pack of shims at Home Depot, and then you just shim it up like that, and it'll pretty much put you where you need to be. So the first thing you want to do is pre-drill a hole before. You want to pre-drill your holes before you put your screw in. That way you don't split the cabinet. I usually use cabinet screws. Today I'm just going to use a drywall screw to fasten it up. Good. Did a countersink there. There's 4 slots here, if you look, where you could put screws into the cabinet. In this case, we're not going to be able to do that no matter what. So what I do is I take my clear silicone and I put a couple dabs of silicone like this on top of here. Okay, you don't have to go crazy. But meanwhile, this should fit in there like this. Start from the top, let it slide down, and then take your fingers and measure that they're both even. Because later we're also going to put clear silicone here that's going to hold this in place. Since this is a new whole setup with a new faucet, as you can see that the pipe, the drain pipe going here is going to be too short. So what do you do in that situation? Well, they call this an extension. This extension is a 1.5 and this is 1/4. Here they made this into a 1.5, which most of the kitchens use 1.5. All bathrooms use 1.25. So they have a washer here that goes from 1.5 to 1.25, and this is the one that is 1.25. This one, as you can see, goes from 1/4 to 1.5. So I bought a pipe that I'm gonna be able to put here. And what I do is, you see this line here? I take it and I eye it. This here, on this line here, this pole only could go into this so far, and this one only could go so far here. So what I do is I mark it here, and that's where I'm gonna make my cut. So I take it and I make my cut here, and that should be a perfect fit. What you do is you take that and you put it in like this. Then you can go up with it, see? So then when you go up, you have no problem going up with it. Now, for the final test, let's see if the water has any leaks. Oh, look at that. Isn't that cool? You could always see if there's hair inside of this pipe because it's transparent. So far, so good. Visionary Remodeling has done a good job. Once again, visit us at www.visionaryremodeling or call us at 216-253-8140 and ask for Jose Antonio Rodriguez. Until next time, we see you again on the Anna Show.
Okay, so we have a Spanish phrase for you this morning. So if you want to say to someone, have a nice day, you would say, que te vaya bien. Que te vaya bien. If you have a big interest in the Spanish language, our show is a show to watch Sunday mornings at 5:30 a.m. or you can record it. Vaya con Dios.